स्ट्रीमिंग हो रहा है.
I think live stream has started.
Yes.
Very good afternoon, everyone. Welcome you to the first day of the 10 days GST course, even the GST litigation course. 1st July 2017, the GST started, and we thought that there is a need. Uh, Most of the professionals who are practicing here and all over India are practicing in GST also. So we thought, and there had been so many litigations as far as GST are concerned. So we thought that there is a need uh, of the practicing members as well as the members in the industry to understand the GST from the point of view of the litigations, since there had been so many litigations, so many circulars, so many decisions that have been coming now and then. So we thought that we should organize a virtual meeting so that the members all over India, they can enjoy these type of sessions, and that too with the best speakers all over India. Today we have one of the best speaker of India, CA Bimal Jainji. We welcome you, sir, to this the first day. We also have CA Manish Rajvi Dhananriya. He is from Calcutta. With these, thank you, everyone. I hope that this GST litigation course will give immense benefit to you, so that you can practice with more informed informations and opinions of the experts. With this, thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Today's seminar is on GST litigation, and we have our President, CA Nitesh ji with us, our Speaker, CA Bimal Jain ji with us, and CA Suman ji and CA Manish Raj ji as Chairman of the session with us. Before starting, I would like to introduce CA Manish Raj ji as Chairman of the session. He is a practicing CA with over 20 years experience. He's practicing in the field of indirect tax, and he has a proud legacy of mentoring over 65,000 students of CA, CMA, and CS in the field of costing and financial management. He has experience in dealing various issues related to implementation of GST, refund in GST, advanced ruling, search and seizure, and various more issues in GSTs. He has worked with clients of various sectors. He is also an active speaker at seminar organized by ICI, ICSI, and various study circles. With these words, I would like to welcome CA Manish Rajji.
Thank you, Manish.
Welcome,
thank you,
sir.
Manish. Thank you, Manish. With this, I have the opportunity to introduce our regular speaker, Mr. Bimal Jain. He requires no introduction, but as a formality, I am just reading out his biodata. He is a FCA, FCS, LLB with 25 years of experience in indirect taxations, GST, service tax, excise, customs, VAT, CST, FTPT, and PGFT matters, etc. Chairman of the Indirect Tax Committee of PhD, Chamber of Commerce. Author of books of goods and service tax titled GST Law and Complementary with Analysis and Procedure. And this is his 7th edition, has been published in the month of July 2022. He is a fellow member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants from May 1994, and he is also a company secretary from December 2006. Along with his career in law, he is a bachelor degree in law. He is having a 24 years experience in indirect taxations and many more in the field of the indirect taxation. He is also the founder of A2Z Taxcom LP, and he is a member of Direct Tax Committee of the Chamber of Commerce. He is also the chairman of the Corporate Advisors Committee of IPEM Group of Institutions, member of Indirect Tax Committee of ASSOCHAM FICCI, special invitee to Indirect Tax Committee of ICAI and ICSI. He is a member of eminent speakers and faculty in Indirect Tax Committee of ICI, ICSI, ICMA, and he is also a keynote speaker at world record making in ICSI latest taxations largest taxation session on GST, attended by 4,500 participants, breaking earlier record held by Japan. Is a gold award at the Best Facilitator GST by Tax India Online. He is a Business Leader Award for MIT School, Noida. He is the Best Speaker Award for NIRC, ICI, and ICWAI. Young Achievers Award for Writing Minds 2015. Best Practice Award in NSOP, Anand 5 batches ICSI. With so many and so many will go on. With you, we welcome you, sir, to just go on to the topic itself. Thank you, sir, for giving your time.
Thank you, Sumanji. And thank you, Nitesh Bhai. And thank you, Manish ji and Manursi ji. And all the participants. पहले मैं ये chat box everyone पे हो सकता है? That everyone can chat with me?
Yes, yes, yes.
अभी कर देता हूँ सर.
नहीं. हेलो.
मैं सेटिंग चेंज कर देता हूँ सर.
हाँ, सेटिंग चेंज कर दीजिए so that everyone can chat through this chat box. And this chat is visible to all.
क्या हुआ है सर?
Hello, Bimal ji.
हाँ जी.
Let me introduce the topic.
Yes, please. Yes, please. Go ahead.
So, more than 6 days that GST has been implemented, and now we can say that compliance has almost settled. It will not settle fully, but we can say compliance is almost settled. So, till few years back, we were having sessions on compliances and all. Now, more taking on litigation. So, this is the effort from News Exchange. Series of sessions on GST litigation, and today is the kickstart. And what can be a better moment to have CA Bimal Jain with us to take this session on the topic that is proceedings under GST and summons proceedings. So two topics over there. One is proceedings under GST, and the other one is summons. So whenever we say about proceedings, the very interesting fact is in GST law, proceedings has not been defined anywhere. If you use Control F function and type the word proceeding, we'll get more than 50 places where we are getting this word, because this word has been used at several places, but it has not been defined anywhere. And very interesting and very importantly, there are few sections like section 98 with respect to advance ruling, and also with respect to parallel proceedings, this word has been used. And lots of litigations has been there regarding what the proceeding means in section 98 also and section 6(2)(b). Apart from that, there is section 83. There also regarding provisional attachment, there also proceeding has been mentioned. But nowhere there is a clarity when actually proceeding initiates and when it concludes. Either we can say whether it initiates with a summons or with ASMT 10 or DRC1A or DRC1 or DRC7. Nowhere it is defined concrete where the initiation is and where the end is. So I will request Mr. Bimal Jain to take on from here and discuss in detail regarding proceedings and the summons with respect to GST. So it's all over to you, Mr. Bimal Jain.
Thank you, Manish ji. With the chat setting is done for everyone? It is not
yes,
done
sir,
yet?
Done.
Can I ask all the participants to say hello in a chat box so that we can see each other? Whether you can see your chat, yes, it is visible to me, but I want that. Can you see chat of everyone? It is visible to all? Yes. If you're writing yes, then it is visible to all. Yes, visible to all. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, Nitesh Bhai, for picking up this GST litigation course. And very interesting for all of us together to understand what is going on in GST. Whether GST is a good and simple tax is $1 million question. We started with a question, GST going to be good and simple tax, but we can say for sure, GST not a good and simple tax. The kind of complication, interpretation, even in compliances, we are not comfortable. Even the tax professionals are not comfortable in compliances. Leave the question of taxpayers. There are many things which is happening in GST, but this course is dedicated for the litigation. Nevertheless, when litigation, we have to do certain advanced research, advanced justification, advanced jurisprudence, advanced analysis, lot many things. And for me, they have given only two topics, but two topics are so important. Proceedings under GST. What is the meaning of proceedings? What this role of this term proceedings is playing in GST law? What I would be requesting to all the participants that you should be interacting with me through chat box so that we would be knowing what we are discussing. Your answer should be yes or no, not much. I will not be asking detailed answer from each one of you, but I want each one of you to participate. Say yes or no, that is more than sufficient for me. And with this interaction, I'm making sure that you will get best of the understanding of term proceedings and the summon proceedings. So as I say, sabka saath, sabka vikas. So this webinar is a virtual one, but I want to turn out to be a physical seminar for each one of us.
I'm not able to hear you.
Yeah, you can log out and then join. There is no problem from our end. Please log out and then join again. There is problem from your end. There is no problem from our end. Everybody is hearing us. Thank you. And please don't disturb in between the seminar.
Okay. My request to panelists would be that they should also mute themselves so that it is not getting disturbed. They can speak to anyone, pass on the message, whatever they want to, but request that they should mute themselves. Okay, let me start with GST is a self-assessment tax. Section 15(9) of CGST Act clearly saying being registered a person means those who are registered in GST, they should self-assess their tax liability and pay the liability through GSTR 3B under Section 39. That is what it is being stated. GST is a self-assessment tax. What are the relevance of term proceedings? We are going to do very interestingly, and I'm sure you'd be loving and enjoying this session today. Even though this is a litigative point, but I will make it practical for all of you to understand. So there are two participants, Deepak Gupta and Nitin Jain, saying no audio. Am I audible, visible? Can you say yes in chat
Yes.
box? So maybe those who are complaining, they should introspect. Some problem with their end only. When maximum of us are saying yes, then maybe problem with Deepak Gupta जी आपकी तरफ से है. अब वीडियो चला के कुछ नहीं होगा, सब लोग यस कर रहे हैं. चैट बॉक्स देखिए, आपको कुछ अपने एंड पे चेंज करना है. सो प्लीज देखिए, ज्वाइन विद द ऑडियो ऑप्शन. आपने हो सकता है गलत सेलेक्ट किया होगा. ज्वाइन विद द ऑडियो ऑप्शन, जो आपने ज्वाइन नहीं किया है मेरे ख्याल से. बट नेवरदलेस स्टार्ट करते हैं. जीएसटी सेल्फ असेसमेंट टैक्स है, ये हमने समझ लिया. अब टर्म प्रोसीडिंग्स का क्या रिलेवेंस है? द टर्म प्रोसीडिंग्स, believe me, term proceedings is not defined in GST law, but it is being used at different places in various provision of GST law and in different context. So we have to understand what is the real meaning of term proceedings. To my mind, and my question to all of you, whether proceedings means adjudication proceedings, say yes or no in a chat box. Whether term proceedings means adjudication proceedings, means so-cause notice is being issued and that is being adjudicated by adjudication officer. So a lot of you are saying yes, no, mixed answer. My counter question to all of you, there are certain proceedings initiated even before issuance of so-cause notice, like inquiry through summon, like investigation, search and seizure under Section 67 of CGST Act, audit under Section 65 of CGST Act. These are the steps prior to even scrutiny of return under Section 61, ASMT 10. It's prior to issuance of so-called notice. Whether term proceedings include this inquiry, investigation, or audit? Please say yes or no in a chat box. Yes or no in a chat box. So a lot of you are having yes, a lot of you are having no. But today, really, we are going to discuss at length what is the meaning of term proceedings and why it is relevant. And I will request my chairman of the session, technical session, Manish ji, remain with video on, audio on. So I need to counter someone also, so that I want to see their head also modeling like this, so that I can get some feel of it. Even participants can open their video, and they can with their head, either this is no or this is yes, so I can get some vibration. So you can switch on your video so that I can see and get some insight out. Let's enjoy. I will not make it complicated. Believe me, I will not make it complicated. But I want you should really understand this technical topic in a very easiest possible manner, good and simple manner. Though GST not a good and simple tax. So a lot of you are saying yes, a lot of you are saying no. Term proceedings are used in different provision as per se proceedings. There's assessment proceedings also in GST law, chapter 12. There's adjudication proceedings under GST law. If you go back to assessment proceedings, you got section 59, self-assessment tax. You got section 60, provisional assessment. Wherever you're having any doubt for the value or rate, you can go for provisional assessment. Section 61, scrutiny of return, ASMT 10, which you are applying in ASMT 11 and then concluded through ASMT 12, but we are not getting ASMT 12. Sometime without getting ASMT 10, so-called notice is being issued. Or sometime ASMT 10 was issued, ASMT 11 was applied. Manish, mute yourself. Yes. ASMT 11 was applied, but 12 is not issued and so-called notice is issued. Lot many things are happening. Okay. So this is how scrutiny of return. Section 62 is a best judgment for non-filing of GST at 3B under section 39 or final return under section 45. Best judgment. Section 63 talks about assessment of non-registered person, those who are liable for registration, but they have not taken registration. So registration for them. And section 64 talking about summary assessment. Summary assessment. So these are the term in assessment. When we got audit, 65, 66 is the special audit, 67 is the investigation, search and seizure. Then we got adjudication proceedings, section 73, non-fraud case, section 74, fraud cases. For non-payment, short payment of taxes, ITC wrongly availed or utilized or erroneous refund. Non-fraud, section 73, fraud, section 74. And we know the time limit. Just recap, quick recap for all of us. Can I take your test? What is the time limit for issuance of order under section 73? Please tell me, what is the time limit? It is 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. You can write in a chat box, just one simple line, so that you can test yourself also. It is 3 years from the due date of furnishing annual return. And notice should be issued at least 3 months before from this defined time period. But for 17-18, time got extended. A special notification 9/2023, 31st December 2023. For 18-19, they have said 31st March 2024. And for 19-20, they have said 30th June 2024. So this is section 73. And what is the time limit for issuance of order for fraud cases? Under section 74, quickly in a chat box, quickly, you can just write and type 5 years. And what is the time limit for issuance of so-called notice for section 74? Quickly, so that you can recap yourself. Yes, these are the provision we are understanding. 6 months, at least 6 months before. At least 6 months before. So someone who are answering wrong, nothing to worry. I'm happy you are answering. So make this chat box as active as possible, and you must enjoy like physical seminar. So term proceedings is not defined in GST law. It is being used in different context in various provision of GST law. So what is the meaning? Whether it includes inquiry, it includes investigation or audit, or it is only adjudication proceedings. I'm recalling one circular. I'm giving you two important milestones before I take up the topic. First, there was master circular in pre-GST era for service tax and central excise, 1053, dated 10th March 2017. They have said when so-called notice is issued, it is called initiation of legal proceedings. Listen very carefully. Master circular, which is issued by board, they are saying when so-called notice is being issued, it is initiation of legal proceedings. But term proceedings, which is important for all of us today. I'm telling you another Supreme Court judgment, which is being passed by none other than Chief Justice of Supreme Court today, Honorable Chief Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, in the case of Radhakrishnan Industries. What happened in one of the case, there was investigation, and in continuation of investigation, DRC 01A, which is only intimation about tax ascertained by the proper officer under section 73 subsection 5 or section 74 subsection 5. Question was raised before Honorable Court, and Honorable Court has said you would be recalling provision of provisional attachment. Provisional attachment. And let's listen very carefully so that I will conclude it also, and I will take this lead from here. Section 83 talks about provisional attachment of property, bank account of taxable person or any person as defined under section 122 subsection 1A. And how it is being done, listen very carefully. There was provision prior to 1st January 2022. 1st January 2022. They have said during the pendency of any proceedings, listen the word, during the pendency of any proceedings, if commissioner is of the opinion to protect the government revenue, he shall pass an order in writing for provisional attachment of property and bank account of taxable person. When this proceedings got pending under specific section, section 62, base judgment, 63, assessment of non-registered person, 74, 64, summary assessment, 73 and 74, so-called notices for non-fraud and fraud cases. Only these sections were specified. Section 83 got widened, too wide power given in the hands of government officer, GST officer. From 1st January 2022, 1st January 2022. They are saying after initiation of any proceedings. See, earlier it was during pendency, specific sections were given, But from 1st January 2022, they are saying after initiation of any proceedings under Chapter 12, Chapter 14, and Chapter 15, too wide power. And just one of the examples, Section 70 falls under Chapter 14. Even summon is being issued. So initiation of any proceedings, because summon is only inquiry is being initiated. Listen very carefully. And I'm posting query to all of you. And please answer. Let's say CGST department or SGST department has issued a summon to you under Section 70. Can it be said it is initiation of any proceedings? Please tell me, can it be said initiation of any proceedings? Say yes or no. If it is initiation of any proceedings, then you have to be very careful that commissioner can pass an order, provisional attachment order, if he is of the opinion to protect government revenue. From 1st January 2022, just listen, too wide a power, too wide a power. Honorable Supreme Court, in the case of Radha Kishan Industries, it was when there was provision prior to 1st January 2022, which was during pendency of any proceedings. Honorable Supreme Court has said investigation initiated, and let's say DRC 01A got issued under Section 74, subsection 5, which is talking about intimation of tax ascertained. They're saying, and Honorable Supreme Court has said that that will not be considered as proceedings. That will not be considered as proceedings. But we have to really look at the wider perspective, So they're saying this investigation and inquiry which we are referring to, it is not proceedings. And quite reasonably, any inquiry and investigation, you will agree with me, it is only ongoing. Nothing is being concluded. Nothing is being crystallized. It is just ongoing. Once it gets crystallized by issuance of so-called notice, then definitely we can say a legal proceedings got initiated. Order passed against me, against a taxpayer. We can always say it is now recovery notice to be paid within 3 months unless you file appeal or get stay from the Honorable High Court under Article 226 or 227 to the Constitution of India. So let me conclude in a very simplistic way. Inquiry under Section 70 is now being covered. If you look at provisional attachment provision, because after initiation of any proceedings under Chapter 12, 14, and 15, too wide a power. If commissioner is of the opinion to protect government revenue, he can pass any provisional attachment order against property and bank account of taxable person or any person under Section 122, subsection 1A. I'm not going in detailed part of provisional attachment, but I'm only drawing a reference of term proceedings. Even DRC 01A got issued, it is being held, it is not crystallization, and it is not falling within the term proceedings. Rightly so. So we have to see accordingly what is the context coming out when we discuss the term proceedings. This is one of the topic, provisional attachment. Let me start with the advance ruling, Section 98. In advance ruling, we go for advance ruling application and put a question before the advance ruling authority. But there's Section 98, subsection 2 and proviso. This proviso saying, Bimal, you can't go for advance ruling. If a question in an application is already decided or is pending under any proceedings under any proceedings under the GST law. Now it's very, very critical and very, very interesting. Let's say any inquiry or investigation got initiated. Can't you go for advanced ruling? Say yes or no. They are saying that any question which is pending under any proceedings. So first we have to really understand whether inquiry, investigation is proceedings. Then only we can say it is pending. Then only we can say it is barred. We can't go for advanced ruling. Can we say that? Please tell me. Gujarat AAAR Salvi Limited, SHALBY, Salvi Limited, they have said that this inquiry and investigation, if it is pending, then you can't go for advanced ruling application, AAAR. That is what, you know, a AAR and AAAR from government perspective. But Telangana High Court in the SRICO, and the judgment is SRICO Projects Private Limited. Telangana High Court has categorically said that these inquiry and investigation are unending process. It is continuous. You can't say these are proceedings. You can't. And even though if so-called notice is not issued, you can go for advanced ruling application. And that is the correct position by Telangana High Court. But lot of advanced ruling application get rejected only on the plea and rejected by the advanced ruling authority because there are certain search under section 67 or there's summon under section 70 and inquiry is going on. As per Telangana High Court, inquiry is not proceedings and this is not termed. Hence, we can go for advanced ruling. But why these contrary things happening? One part. Come to the next part. You know, concurrent jurisdiction. Lot of taxpayers are facing today. The same SEC is getting summoned from central GST department and state GST department. Am I right? A lot of us, how many of you have got summoned from both the authority on same subject matter? Can you say yes in chat box? Can you say yes in chat box? How many of you? Okay, please say yes in the chat box. I want to see how many of you. Only 2? I got only 2 yes, 3, 4, 5. Okay. At least now number is increasing. At least write something in a chat box. We must enjoy. All right. But please try to understand, if someone is being issued by central GST and state GST on same subject matter, what would be fate of each of business? So let me tell you, and a very interesting one. First, the provision. Listen, provision. Section 6, subsection 2, clause B. Section 6, subsection 2, clause B of CGST Act. They're saying that if SGST officer or UTGST officer has initiated any proceedings, again the word any proceeding, on a subject matter, then CGST officers should not initiate any proceedings on same subject matter or vice versa. In simplistic manner, अगर UTGST और SGST ऑफिसर ने आपके अगेंस्ट में कोई इंक्वायरी इनिशिएट कर दी है, अब हम कर रहे हैं एनी प्रोसीडिंग्स, इनिशिएटेड एनी प्रोसीडिंग्स ऑन ए सब्जेक्ट मैटर. So what is the meaning of subject matter? We will discuss at length. So there are the 2 things we need to determine for deciding the fate of concurrent jurisdiction. what is the meaning of proceedings and what is the meaning of subject matter? Let me first explain the subject matter. Subject matter can be, and it is having exemplary list, my sum of the supply which is being picked up for inquiry, some of the subject matter, not the whole supply matter. Then to that extent, that would be called the subject matter. ITC related investigation, inquiry, just pertaining to one supplier. It is pertaining to one supplier, lot many others are left. So only one supplier would be the same subject matter. That is how we need to understand. We can't say if ITC is being investigated, inquiry is being initiated against one supplier, it tantamounts against
भाई इसमें कोट बुरा
all
लगेगा कोट इसमें सूट का है और इसमें सूट बनवाएं या कोट खाली कोट ही बनवाएं
Please, someone is audible. Please mute.
so that is the meaning of subject matter. But now we are on term proceedings, right? Very interesting. So my question to you, all of you, let's say inquiry got initiated under section 70, summon is being issued by both the authority. Can you stop them? Please tell me, can you stop them? Can you say that once it is being initiated by SGST, it can't be initiated by CGST? Please tell me yes or no. Yes or no. If it is same subject matter and anything. Okay, lot many yes and no. You can write yes and no. That is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for your answer, that you should write your answer. Okay, lot many yes, a lot many no. All right, please carry on. So I want to just see yes or no. I'm recalling one of the judgment from Allahabad High Court, worth noticing. GK Trading, G.K. Trading. The petitioner pleaded that, my lord, there is a summon issued by central and state on same subject matter, which is being barred under section 6, subsection 2, clause B. What Honorable Allahabad High Court has said, listen very carefully. Allahabad High Court has said, Mr. Jain, you should not intermix inquiry and proceedings. Listen, you should not intermix inquiry and proceedings. These are in different context. These are in different context. So you can't say inquiry is proceedings. No, you can't say inquiry is proceedings. Hence, your plea that inquiry can't be initiated by both the authority is being negated. So they are saying that inquiry is not a proceedings. So it's a wake-up call for all of us. And I'm not dwelling much into the same subject matter. So they are saying inquiry is not a proceedings. Then ultimately what is coming, they can both can come and enjoy the ease of business against genuine and honest taxpayer. But that is what the irony which is not helping us. Why can't government come forward and issue a circular, a clarification? What does the term proceedings mean? It is being used at different places, in different contexts, in various provision, and nowhere defined, creating ambiguity and contrary jurisprudence. That is the irony when we look at concurrent jurisdiction. Let me take a move further, and let me ask, I'm starting one practical example, and then I will take you what does the term proceedings mean. Let's say you're a taxpayer. Manish bhai, to you as well. So you can always say yes and no. Listen very carefully. Somebody is saying, Ram Avatar is saying is not in violation of Article 20, Article 2. I will discuss all this thing. Allow me to take it further. I'm only started is creating interest in you so that you understand how this term proceeding is evolving in GST law. Let me start with the example. You are a registered person. You are filing your GSTR1. Your liability is only 1 lakh rupees. 1 lakh rupees. Only 1 lakh rupees. But while filing GSTR1, there was some problem, and we all know that normally daytime we are not in a position to file. So you were trying to file GSTR1 in the night, and it was not going on the GST portal. So you were trying. It was in between submit and file, submit and file. You added 1 extra 0, and it got filed. So 1 lakh got filed with 10 lakh rupees. Whereas your liability is only 1 lakh rupees on your outward supply. Now you're supposed to file your GSTR 3B, right? So are you going to pay tax 10 lakh or 1 lakh? Quite obvious, 1 lakh. Why you will pay 10 lakh? But the difference of 9 lakh rupees. Difference of 9 lakh rupees. I'm giving 2 questions to all the participants. Whether this 9 lakh can be recovered by the department without issuance of so-called notice. So recovery can be initiated by department without issuance of so-called notice. Please tell me yes or no. Yes or no. Okay. Lot of no is coming. Lot of no is coming. All right. Okay. Lot of no. So Pratik is saying yes, section 75. So a lot of you have said yes or no, right? Now, listen my answer very carefully. When I go to section 75, subsection 12, and read the explanation, effective from 1st January 2022, this explanation is saying, Bimal, difference of 1 versus 3B is your self-assessment tax. Self-assessment tax. And it can be recovered even without issuance of so-called notice. So they can initiate recovery proceedings. That is what they are saying. So just I'm thinking the proceedings would be really starting with the so-called notice, or proceedings can be initiated even before issuance of so-called notice. That is what the relevance of this discussion today. That you have not issued a so-called notice, and can you initiate recovery proceedings under section 79 of CGST Act? It's irony, right? It's irony, right? Let me draw your attention. Let me draw your attention. How many of you have really seen Rule 88C, effective from 26th of December 2022? Rule 88C. What they are saying, if difference between 1 and 3B exceeds the specified amount, then department going to issue a notice in part A, DRC 01B, which you need to reply within 7 days, part B of DRC 01B, or you need to pay the differential amount along with interest within 7 days. If you don't reply or pay the amount, differential amount, then they are being empowered under Rule 142B. 142B, that this can be recovered by the particular notice DRC 01D, which is notice for recovery. And it is going to be shown in your e-liability ledger PMT 01. So that is what recovery even without issuance of so-called notice. So this is giving me a flavor. I need to really understand, should I wait only for the so-called notice, then only I can say proceedings got initiated? Or I need to look at other provision as well. That is the reason I'm telling you the term proceedings has got different meaning in different context. But let me conclude. Let me say from my side. Let me say what I wanted to convey to all of you. No, they can't recover this money from me. They can't. Reason number one, I'm also being empowered to undertake rectification of any omission or error in section 37 in GSTR1, and which is being permitted till 30th November following the end of relevant financial year. I can always plead before the authority, sir, there was mistake on my part. There was mistake on my part, and I'm being empowered under section 37 to undertake rectification of any omission or error till 30th November following the end of relevant financial year. You can't initiate, but they are creating provision in isolation. And second, section 61 is the scrutiny of return, right? Am I right? 61, scrutiny of return. If they are going to undertake this notice for recovery without issuance of so-called notice, are they not supposed to look at section 61, which is scrutiny of return, 1 versus 3B mismatch? Are they not supposed to issue ASMT 10 to me? Can't I say to the court, my submission to the Honorable Court would be, in case this matter get litigated, my lord, then section 61 going to be OTOH. If they are being empowered. With this provision 75 subsection 12 and explanation. So मेरी एक लाइन में submission आप सभी को, एक लाइन में so cause notice issue नहीं होगा इसमें. Provision तो ऐसा ही कहता है. Before issuance of so cause notice, recovery can be initiated. So we are only trying to determine the term proceedings means. But I've given my food for thought that they can't do so, though I'm discussing all the relevant provision which is coming out. Come back to another example, another case study. If there is difference between rule GSTR 2B versus GSTR 3B, happen, right? For availing credit, we know there are initial 4 conditions. That being recipient, you should have tax invoice copy. You must have received goods or services. Your supplier must have paid taxes. Being recipient, you are regularly filing GST return. And then whatever credit you are availing in 3B must be matched with GSTR 2B. This provision got notified from 1st January 2022. And the next provision, whatever is availed in 3B, and you're cross-checking with GSTR 2B, make sure it is not restricted in GSTR 2B, section 38. They notified from 1st October 2022 and 6 restriction they have inserted under section 38. But my question to all of you now, you availed credit in 3B 10 lakh, but 2B is showing only 5 lakh rupees. Please tell me, 5 lakh difference. So what is can they really recover this money without issuance of so-called notice, same as I discussed for 1 and 3B? Please tell me yes and no. Difference of 2B versus 3B, can they recover without issuance of so-called notice? Please tell me yes or no. So lot many no and few of you are saying yes. Rule 88D, notified from 4th of August 2023. They are saying now they will issue a notice when the difference between 2B and 3B exceeds the specified amount, they're going to issue a notice. DRC 01C, Part A, which you need to reply back within 7 days or pay the differential amount. If you don't reply or pay, then they will initiate action under section 73 or 74. Oof. So simple, good and simple taxi. One provision saying something else, it is saying something else. It's irony. And we are in such a havoc situation. 1(3)(b) recovery without issuance of so cause notice. 2B, 3B notice, you reply or pay. If you don't do, then initiation of proceedings under section 73 or 74. But you understand what I mean to say that. That is what I'm telling you. Term proceedings. Nevertheless, this is the interest I wanted to draw for all of you. So hope you are getting good interest that what is the term proceedings means. Let me take 2-3 more so that you will get more and more. And sometime dil mange more. And at the end we get confused. Kya hua aaj yaar? समझ में नहीं आया टर्म प्रोसीडिंग्स में क्या है, होगा नहीं होगा. Am I right? Say yes or no. ऐसे ही लग रहा है ना? इतना सुनने के बाद तो आपको लग रहा है कि हो क्या रहा है. Am I right? ऐसे ही लग रहा है ना? खुद मुझे लगा when I've done all the research and get prepared myself when I'm going to deliberate today, it is so dicey that nothing is coming out. Chali, all right. Somewhat, not an issue. So thank you to all the participants. At least you people are saying something, talking about something that is interesting one. Let's go to scrutiny return. As a beginner, I agree, sir. So Akash Gupta is giving disclaimer. He's saying as a beginner, I agree, sir. अगर वो बोल रहे हैं अगर मैं GST expert होता तो मैं distinguish कर देता आपके observation को. And different interpretation, and that is what it is going on. So we have to be really very, very careful. Hope I'm audible to all. Am I audible to all? See yes quickly in a chat box. Am I audible? All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. So आप सब ने yes कहा तो अब आगे बढ़ते हैं. Okay. Listen now. Scrutiny of return, section 61. Proper officer is going to undertake scrutiny of return for deficiency in return file. So he will do lot of scrutiny, 1 versus 3B, 2A versus 3B, 2B versus 3B, and going to issue ASMT 10, which we need to reply in within 30 days, ASMT 11, and which he need to conclude within 30 days, ASMT 12. That is what the general perception throughout provision all about. I'm asking question to all of you. Is it proceedings? Can you say this is proceedings in GST law? Or you will say proceeding only when so-called notice get issued? Please tell me. This is proceedings in GST law or only inquiry, investigation? Please tell me. Because these are very interesting terms. So this provision is saying if proper officer is not agreeing with you, then he will initiate proceedings under section 65 audit, 67 search, 73 or 74 so-called notices. So that is how. So again, if I say that inquiry is not proceedings, then definitely we can say inquiry is not proceedings unless so-called notice is being issued. You rightly perceived, everyone rightly perceived. Come back to the best judgment, section 62. 62. Base judgment is done by department when you have not filed GSTR 3B or final return under section 45. And here 62 is starting with a non-obstantive clause, notwithstanding anything contained in section 73 or 74. Listen very carefully. Now they are overriding 73 or 74. And they are saying they can pass the base judgment order if you are not replying the notice, which is issued for non-filing of GSTR 3B or final return. Now, what is your take? They are overriding now. Non-obstantive clause 73, 74. So-called notice is not compulsory. Now, can you say it is only proceedings or inquiry initiated, inquiry, investigation, and proceedings? That is how we have to differentiate, right? Starting with the non-obstantive clause. So please say in the chat box, is it only inquiry or investigation, or it is a proceedings now for base judgment under section 62? Please tell me. Overriding now. It is proceedings now. They're giving power. Non-obstantive clause. Even you go to section 63, which is assessment for unregistered person. Starting with non-obstantive clause 73 or 74. So again, the assessment is being done with the non-obstantive clause. We can say it is proceedings. That is how we have to get into the provision and check and verify what are the things happening and how the proceedings terms need to be defined, relevance of it, meaning of it. One more section, section 160, subsection 1. There the term used proceedings. Manish, he was telling me when he started, and he was telling me that more than 50 places in GST law, he has done Control F. He has taken the GST law.
More than 150.
More than 150? Okay.
Yeah.
So he was saying, I didn't do that, honestly speaking. I didn't do that. I have gone to specific provision, checked the specific provision, then, summarize the position. More than 150 places he has found the term proceedings is there. So relevance of term proceedings, very, very important for all of us. If you go to section 160, they are saying that any notice, summon, order, assessment, reassessment, review, revision, appeal will not get invalidated. Even any other proceedings will not get any invalidated just because there is only mistake, meager mistake, defect. Otherwise, it is with respect to the provision and with the intent and object of the GST law. They are saying you can't litigate any proceedings just because there's some defect, some mistake. Otherwise, it is within the four corners of the provision and with an intent within the GST law. It can't be invalidated. So term proceedings is such a wider term. Now let me conclude this term proceedings, then we will move to summon proceedings. Let me conclude. And for conclusion, I need your favor. I need to ask certain question to all of you. First of all, you should know that term proceedings is not defined in GST law. Not defined in GST law. First. Second part. It is being used in different context in various provision of GST law. Since it is not defined, creating ambiguity and contrary jurisprudence. Otherwise, you just look at the, kind of judgment which I've narrated. GK Trading, Allahabad High Court versus Radhakishan Industries of Honorable Supreme Court while discussing provisional attachment. These are all creating contrary perspective. To me, proceeding means an application of mind resulting into passing of any order or decision which is affecting rights and liabilities of either taxpayer or revenue department. That is called proceedings. So just inquiry, investigation is not resulting into, sometimes they have initiated, but nothing is coming out as an order which is affecting any rights and liabilities. Thereby we can say that inquiry, investigation, and audit are not proceedings. And that is what Radhakrishnan Industries Limited, and that is what the Master Circular in pre-GST era, 10th March 2017. That issuance of so-called notice is the initiation of legal proceedings. Now, what is the meaning of context? A particular term is used in a context, very interesting one. I'm recalling one GST input tax credit judgment, wherein context is very important and which you would be knowing, but let me take this judgment so that we can say that whenever you are looking at the term proceedings, you need to read along with the context. You can't read in isolation. And in that context, you need to define the term, what is the meaning of term proceedings. So let me take GST ITC, this judgment. Time limit to avail credit. We all know AP High Court judgment. Thirumalakonda Plywood. As per section 16, subsection 4, time limit to avail credit is earliest of due date. Due date of furnishing return under section 39 for the month of September following the end of relevant financial year, which is now made 30th November from 1st October 2022, or date of furnishing annual return, whichever is earlier. In Thirumalakonda Plywood, AP High Court, petitioner filed his March 2020 GSTR 3B, March 2020 GSTR 3B on 27th November 2020, which was due on 20th October 2020. Simple. मार्च 2020 का 3B था, भरना था 20 अक्टूबर 2020 को, और इसने भरा 27 नवंबर 2020 को। इसने 27 नवंबर को क्यों भरा? तब लेट फीस के साथ, ड्यूरिंग कोविड, आपको याद आ रहा होगा, दैट टाइम कोविड वाज देयर. Late fees, with the late fees, it was allowed that you can file GSTR 3B. So he filed his GSTR 3B late, beyond 20th October 2020 with the late fees. His credit was denied because of section 16, subsection 4 of CGST Act. Now he filed a writ petition and he pleaded 3 important points. The first point he pleaded, when you have allowed me filing of 3B with the late fees, then quite obvious my time limit also get extended. That is the first argument he has taken. Second argument, which is I wanted to draw reference, context. Listen very carefully. Section 16, subsection 2. And before subsection 2, let's read the subsection 1. Registered person is entitled to avail credit subject to such condition and restriction as may be notified. Subsection 2 start with non-obstante clause. Notwithstanding anything contained in this section, section 16, no registered person shall be entitled to avail credit unless satisfy the condition. Condition: having invoice, receipt of goods and services, supplier must have paid taxes, recipient regularly filing return under section 39, match with 2B, auto-populated. There was nothing for the time limit. Section 16, subsection 4 is putting the time limit. So this petitioner argued before the court, my lord, section 16, subsection 2 is starting with a non-obstante clause, which is overriding section 16, subsection 4. And last plead, which is being taken up by the petitioner, that it is violative of Article 14, 19, 1G and Article 300, capital A. Let me give you the answer, quick answers. On point of late filing of 3B with the late fees, it will not exonerate your time limit condition. Yes, you can file your 3B with the late fees. It does not mean that your time get extended unless it is being done so. So late fees payment with late filing does not help you. So lot many amnesty scheme wherein allowed 3B with the late fees does not entitle you the credit unless it is within the time limit. But the context which I want to discuss here, section 16, subsection 2 with the non-obstante clause, is it really overriding section 16, subsection 4? And Honorable AP High Court has discussed lot many judgment in what context it is to be read. Why I am drawing this attention to all of you? Because term proceedings, which is there in more than 150 places in GST law, by doing Control F, Control F, Control F. What is the meaning of term proceedings? Can you read blanket? Or you need to read in the context for different provision. Inquiry, investigation, and proceedings are not synonymous. You cannot intermix it. But as a conclusion, you can always draw it. Inquiry is something different and proceedings are something different. And that is what we are getting judgment from Radhakrishnan Industries. Even DRC 01A got issued, but it was not considered as a pending proceedings. And no provisional attachment can be initiated. That is what held by Honorable Chief Justice of Supreme Court D.Y. Chandrachud ji. Read the judgment, very interesting judgment. You will get more food for thought. But to conclude this judgment, AP High Court, Thirumalakonda Plywood, they said it is not violative of Article 14, 19, 1G and Article 300, capital A. They are saying this credit is only concession or benefit. On the date you are availing, you must satisfy the condition. If you satisfy the condition, then it becomes vested right. If conditions are not satisfied, then it is not your vested right. It is only concession or benefit subject to condition fulfilled. That is what the context coming out from AP High Court. So I'm concluding this term proceedings. I know that within 1 hour, 5-10 minutes, to the best possible manner, I have picked up from different way and concluded what is my submission on term proceedings. Can I move to summon proceedings now? Can I see yes in a chat box that yes, summon proceedings? Okay, before I move to summon proceedings, I would like to ask one question to all of you. I know a lot of my friends from Calcutta is joining today. Lot of my friends. Lot of interaction with them. They have seen me in the past, maybe from Calcutta and outside Calcutta. I did discuss term proceedings and I tried to evaluate from different angle, given food for thought, created your interest also that how we need to interpret a particular provision in GST law. Abhi tak, I'm damn sure I tried my best. I could have made PowerPoint presentation. I could have given provision reproduced. I could have cited the judgment, but I did not do that. I thought making it practical and more interactive. Have you got little grip on the subject matter? I just want to see yes or no. Have you got little grip on the subject matter? If tomorrow someone is asking you, you can say, yes, I know something about it. Perfect. Okay. Some of the judgment which I cited, it is there in my lot many videos on my YouTube channel. So you can see those judgment individually, which I cited in today's presentation. Coming to the summon proceedings. Summon we know under Section 70 of CGST Act. Any proper officer can issue a summon to any person, the term used, any person whose attendance is necessary, either to get evidence or to produce document or anything in same manner like civil court under Code of Civil Procedure 1908. 1908. And whatever proceedings is being done under summon is called judicial proceedings under Section 193 and Section 228 of Indian Penal Code. So we have to understand all this term first, and then we will dwell down for the summon proceedings. Who is proper officer? Who can issue summon? Please tell me. Who is the proper officer? Whether it can be superintendent, AC, DC. What is your take? JC, additional commissioner, commissioner. Write down the answer in a chat box. Who can issue summon? Okay, let me rephrase my question. Whether superintendent can issue summon, say yes or no. Say yes or no. Yes or no. Please tell me. Okay, lot of yes, lot of no. Okay. 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 You may note down, first of all, my today's discussion. I have gathered some of the information from department document, which is available on public domain. First is instruction number 3 of 22-23, dated 17th of August 2022. Instruction number 3, dated 17th of August 2022. The frequently asked question, 15 December 2018, under the circular number 3/3 2017, dated 5th of July 2017. There are 3 documents you must look at whenever you look at the term summon. So I've given you the reference of these 3 documents, which would be relied upon document for you to take it forward. And they have said that superintendent can issue summon provided it is being authorized in writing by AC or DC, assistant commissioner or deputy commissioner, in writing. In exceptional cases, it can be oral, verbal, but later on it should be noted down in the records. That is what the answer coming out. So superintendent. But what is the meaning of proper officer? Proper officer is being defined under Section 2, subsection 91 of CGST Act. Proper officer means commissioner or any other officer who is being assigned by the commissioner to perform the function under the CGST Act. Under the CGST Act. That is the term proper officer meaning. Section 2, subsection 91. So my first question was whether superintendent can issue. Your answer would be yes, provided authorized in writing by AC or DC. And in case you're having doubt that this superintendent is only doing drama, then you can always litigate the matter. litigate the matter. Even it is verbal, but it must be recorded later on in the records that it is being authorized by AC or DC. Am I clear to all? Say yes. Say yes in a chat box that this part is clear. Second, compulsorily mentioning of DIN, document identification number. Compulsorily mentioning of DIN, document identification number. From CGST perspective, there are two circular. Circular number 122 dated 5th November 2019 and circular number 128 dated 23rd December 2019. They're saying any summon without DIN is null and void. You should tear it off. So whenever you are getting summon from CGST department, I'm not saying SGST, because India GST is one law, one nation, one tax, but sometimes it looks like myth. It is not one nation, one law, one tax. For state, they are implementing in a piecemeal manner. Kerala, AP, Karnataka, they have initiated, but they are going in a piecemeal manner. But from CGST department, any summon without having DIN number is null and void. Null and void. Am I clear to all? Say yes. Am I clear to all? Say yes so that I get a clarity. Okay. Now, second, third, what is the difference between inquiry versus inquiry? Now, when I say inquiry versus inquiry, you will get confused. The term inquiry start with E, E-N-Q-I-R-Y, inquiry, and the term start with I-N-Q-I-R-Y. Yes, Bharat Bhandari has rightly said in a chat box, inquiry versus inquiry. Look at the chat box, it's visible to all of us. So Bharat has rightly picked up, and Bharat की मैंने appreciation भी कर दी. Bharat देखो, मैंने आपके जरिए सबको बता भी दिया और आपकी appreciation भी कर दी. Summon, when you look at the provision, they are using the term inquiry, I-N-Q-I-R-Q-I-I-R-Y. Inquiry is different, which is judicial proceedings under section 193 and 228 of Indian Penal Code. And judicial proceedings means where evidence is taken on oath. So evidence means statement, documents are taken on oath. But E-N-Q-I-I-Q-U-I-R-Y, which is only for getting general information, general details, general document. Nothing is being taken on oath. So that is the basic difference which I have created. Hope I'm clear. Say yes. Am I clear to all of you? So that you must know these perspectives, these terms you must know. These are the difference coming out. Okay, all right. So आपको इतना भी समझ में आ गया. एक step आगे और बढ़ते हैं. A step further. Now summon must indicate the name of the offender, unless it is creating detrimental effect on the investigation by the officer. Generally, they must make a mention of who is the offender, accused. So you should get some insight from the summon itself with respect to whom this summon proceedings got initiated. And they're supposed to make a mention of it, generally, unless it is detrimental for investigation proceedings. So this part is again very clear. जब भी summon मिले, take the summon in front of you and check in whose reference this summon has come to you. You are accused or co-accused, or you are only supporting as a witness, or providing supporting details, because summon can be issued to any person, whether registered or not registered. Whether this part is clear? Can I see yes in a chat box? Can I see in a chat box? Before I move further, let me also, which I've concluded, but again, since I've created the difference of E, inquiry with E, starting with E and starting with I. E is not relevant here. Inquiry with E is not relevant. It is general inquiry. It is only I. But this inquiry is investigation. Inquiry or investigation is a proceedings, right? Inquiry versus proceedings. Allahabad High Court judgment, section 6, subsection 2, clause B, and they have said inquiry is not a proceedings. So we have to really careful about, and with the reference of provisional attachment also I did discuss that provision got amended from 1st January 2022. So we have to really careful about. Now, having said that, it should be issued to whom? किसको issue किया जाए? सीधे head of the department, CEO, CFO, or head of the department, or it should be issued to the authorized person? Please tell me. किसके नाम से होना चाहिए? सीधे हेड को भेज दिया जाए, जो हेड है एकदम, डायरेक्टर, मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर, सीईओ, सीएफओ, या ऑथोराइज पर्सन के नाम से? डिपार्टमेंट तो हमेशा, डिपार्टमेंट इन ऑल केसेस यू मस्ट हैव सीन, समन सबसे पहले सीईओ को भेजते हैं, उनको उससे नीचे कोई नहीं चाहिए, सीईओ चाहिए सबसे पहले. But these document which I referred, instruction, FAQ, and circular, it is saying it should be issued to the authorized person unless attendance of head of the person is required in exceptional cases. General नहीं कि आपने लिया और भेज दिया उठा के, ना, no way. Only in exceptional cases. I hope मेरा ये part भी आपको clear होगा. Please say yes in a chat box that this part is also. And the other point, अगर CEO, CFO को भेज दिया है और authorized person कोई और है, you can always write back to the authority. Sir, Mr. ABC is the authorized person. He will represent the company because he is authorized person for the company looking after GST compliances. So you should withdraw this summon in the name of CEO, CFO. You should, unless it is warranted in exceptional cases. So such summoning authority must say why it is exceptional, why they want director need to be present, not the authorized person. Coming to the connected questions. Summon issued to the person named. He is supposed to appear before the authority. But can you go with some tax consultant, advocate, or chartered accountant? Say yes or no, possible or not possible. Say, can you go with the tax consultant while during the statement is being taken? Can you go yes or no? So a lot of you are saying yes, no. Some of you are saying if officers allows, and आपको मालूम है ऑफिसर कैसे अलाउ करता है. हम सबको मालूम है ऑफिसर कैसे अलाउ करता है. Sorry, we are mocking on certain things, but this is the irony. This is the irony today. This is not making GST good and simple tax. And their contrary judgment, you know, the contrary judgment, Delhi High Court saying no, but AP, Telangana High Court, MP High Court is saying yes, in a visible range. Not in audible range, but visible range. They're saying that, ठीक है, दूर बैठ जाएगा, देख पाएगा आपको. I'm recalling one judgment of Supreme Court, Parambir Singh Saini case, CCTV camera recording. Any kind of enforcement and investigation proceedings, why can't it be recorded? We have seen during the statement taken, there's so much of pressure and coercion created. And they made us to accept which is not acceptable to us. They made us to accept which is not acceptable to us. Why can't we do CCTV camera recording? Honorable Supreme Court has said for all investigating agencies, enforcement agencies, ED, CBI, maybe tax officers, anti-wage and DGGI, anyone, if they are recording statement, why can't there be CCTV recording for the true and fair trial? True and fair trial. Need to be. Then only. Otherwise, what happened during the statement taken, we have seen, and a lot of you will agree with me, they only post the question where they want to listen the answer. And answer you should say which they want to have it. Am I right? मुझे एक्सेप्टेबल नहीं है, लेकिन मुझसे बार बार वही पूछेंगे और वही बुलवाना चाहेंगे जो वो रिकॉर्ड करवाना चाहते हैं. Am I right? Am I right? Say yes or no. कम से कम यहाँ तो बोल ही दीजिए, कोई ऑफिसर थोड़े है यहाँ पे. Yes. कम से कम अपनी मन की बात तो बोल ही सकते हैं कि हाँ यही हो रहा है पूरे इंडिया में. पूरे इंडिया में ऐसा ही चल रहा है. So this is the again irony. Big irony. Big irony. Believe me, big irony. Coming to the next part. अब आपने स्टेटमेंट तो दे दिया और स्टेटमेंट आपने अपने अगेंस्ट में दे दिया. मान लिया सब, खुद को तो फंसा ही दिया, सामने वाले को भी फंसा दिया. पहले कर लेते हैं, फिर मैं एक दो केस स्टडी करूंगा आप लोगों के साथ. हमने स्टेटमेंट भी दे दिया, अपने अगेंस्ट में दे दिया और सामने वाले को भी फंसा दिया. Whether those statements are really acceptable evidence. Any statement given before police officer is not admissible evidence, you know, section 25 of Indian Evidence Act. अगर आपने पुलिस ऑफिसर के सामने कोई स्टेटमेंट दिया, that is not admissible as evidence. Section 25 of Indian Evidence Act बोलता है कि वो evidence नहीं है. My counter question to you, whether GST officers are police officer? Please tell me. Whether GST officer are police officer? Supreme Court in the Ramesh Chandra Mahato case, they have said GST officers are not police officer. Supreme Court judgment. They are not. But what happened if you have given any statement and which is self-indiscrimination? Self-indiscrimination. Is it possible? Article 20, sub-article 3 is saying no person should be compelled for self-incrimination. यानी बोलता है कि आप किसी को जबरदस्ती ये बुलवा नहीं सकते कि तुम चोर हो, unless it is proven fact. आप उसे जबरदस्ती बुलवा लो कि नहीं तू चोर है, लिख के दे तू चोर है, तूने चोरी की है. But you go back and check section 136. आपने कोई स्टेटमेंट दिया है ना, that can be used as evidence and for launching of prosecution provision in GST law. यानी आपने स्टेटमेंट दे दिया, अपने आप को एलिज कर लिया. Next course of action would be within the shortest possible time you should retract. वहां तो आपके हाथ में कुछ नहीं था, आप कुछ नहीं कर पाए, आपने स्टेटमेंट भी अपने अगेंस्ट में दे दिया. बट जब बाहर आ जाए शॉर्टेस्ट पॉसिबल टाइम में रीट्रैक कर दीजिए. सर जो आपने पूछा था ना, नहीं सर मैं एग्री नहीं करता, आपको ऐसा करना पड़ेगा. अगर आपने रीट्रैक्ट नहीं किया, इट विल बी यूज्ड एज एविडेंस अगेंस्ट यू फॉर लॉन्चिंग प्रोसिक्यूशन प्रोविजन. प्लीज बी केयरफुल. एक एग्जांपल लेता हूं मैं आपके सामने. There are a lot of dispute going on GST input tax credit. Supplier is found to be non-existent. I'm just picking up one of the case which we have filed a writ petition and we got some relief also. Listen that case carefully. I will discuss two cases here so that you get little more clarity and little more understanding. And worth listening to these two judgment. One of my client who is a recipient, he is being alleged that उसने 60 करोड़ रुपए की क्रेडिट, 60 करोड़ रुपए की क्रेडिट, बोगस क्रेडिट ले ली है. 60 crore rupees bogus credit ले ली है. He came up to me and he said, sir, मेरे पास टैक्स इनवॉइस की कॉपी है, मैंने गुड्स रिसीव किए हैं सर, मेरे पास ईबे बिल है, टोल टैक्स का रसीद है, एलआर नंबर है, ट्रक के साथ वेगमेंट स्लिप है, ट्रक का फोटो लिया है विद ड्राइवर के साथ, सर सब कुछ है मेरे पास. मैंने सप्लायर को टैक्स का पेमेंट किया था, सप्लायर ने जमा भी कराया है सर, और मैं रेगुलरली जीएसटी रिटर्न भी फाइल करता हूं सर, सब कुछ है. पर डिपार्टमेंट मेरे पास आता है और मुझसे कहता है कि तुमने जो 60 करोड़ की क्रेडिट ली है वो बोगस क्रेडिट है, फेक क्रेडिट है. व्हाट टू बी डन? इस रिसिपिएंट को बुलाया जाता है, समन आ जाओ. सप्लायर का नाम बोल दिया एबीसी कि ये सप्लायर था, इससे तुमने माल लिया है, ये तुमने माल नहीं मिला, तुम यू हैवंट रिसीव्ड द गुड्स, it is bogus credit, fake credit, you will not get the credit. And that supplier was non-existent, that supplier was non-existent, उसका अता पता नहीं था, वो गायब, हमें मालूम है. And GST regime, lot many supplier has taken a fake registration in a fake premises, but this is genuine case which he was referring to, but there may be a possibility, please, I'm saying with due care, possibility आपने कैश में माल परचेज किया और किसी से इनवॉइस लिया और इन्वेंट्री को आप सेट राइट करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. बहुत कुछ हुआ है जीएसटी में. जीएसटी में बहुत नाटक हुए हैं, कहीं पे सच्चे लोग भी हैं तो कहीं पे राम जी भी हैं तो कहीं पे रावण भी बहुत है. अब उन रावणों की वजह से सारे राम के ऊपर एलिगेशन लग रहे हैं और राम फंसा हुआ है. अब इस केस को थोड़ा आगे बढ़ाऊं, लेकिन जस्ट पॉज करता हूं कि मान लीजिए आपने सप्लायर का रजिस्ट्रेशन विद रिट्रोस्पेक्टिव डेट से कैंसिल कर दिया. अरे 22-23 में आपने सप्लायर के यहां सर्च की या इंक्वायरीज इनिशिएट की, 22-23 में, 22-23, supplier is non-existent. With retrospective date, you have cancelled the registration. Now, since he is non-existent, with retrospective date, you have cancelled the registration. You started disputing the transaction which is being done in 1819, 1920. अरे 22 में आपने इंक्वायरी इनिशिएट की, मैंने माल 1819, 1920 में परचेज किया, आप बिना बात के उस ट्रांजैक्शन को डिस्प्यूट कर रहे हैं. कलकत्ता हाई कोर्ट जजमेंट, LGW इंडस्ट्रीज लिमिटेड, संचिता कुंडू, गर्गो ट्रेडर्स, ब्राइट स्टार प्लास्टिक इंडस्ट्रीज लिमिटेड, lot many judgment, and honorable court has said unless you prove the connivance, department prove the connivance between supplier and recipient, you can't allege that this is ineligible credit, this is fake credit, this is bogus credit. No way. It is totally incorrect. But in case which I was referring to, summon was issued and this client was harassed by the department. नहीं तुम पे करो, 5 करोड़ से ज्यादा है, तुमको अरेस्ट कर लेंगे. And he was in a dilemma. I have represented this client before the officer and said, sir, why you are alleging this client? Buyer is the bona fide. He's giving you all the evidence and document which you want in your inquiry proceedings. Why just on preconceived notion that supplier is non-existent, you are saying this credit is not available? And sometime supplier is existing, but maybe a case in that supply chain L1 is someone else. Maybe supplier at L5 level, supplier at L5 level. But maybe there's L1, the initial one who took the fake registration and only raised the invoice, file 1, did not file 3B, tax का payment नहीं किया, जो L2 को मिला, L2 ने 1 3B भरा, ऐसे करके L5 के पास आ गया. जस्ट बिकॉज ये L1 से मूव होके L5 पे आ गया, आप L5 को बोलते तेरी इनएलिजिबल क्रेडिट है, अब रिसिपिएंट से बोलते तेरी इनएलिजिबल क्रेडिट है. My argument to the officer is, sir, I only know my immediate supplier. I can't see any transaction beyond immediate supplier. I can't see. I can't go back and see any transaction beyond my immediate supplier. How you can allege? There's a doctrine of impossibility. Doctrine of impossibility. Lex non cogit ad impossibilia. You cannot compel a person to do something impossible. अरे कोई L1 था, मुझे कहां से मालूम पड़ेगा? मुझे दिख भी रहा है क्या GSTN पोर्टल पे? नहीं दिख रहा, और आप एलिगेशन लगा रहे हैं. I represent it. What department did? They have blocked e-credit ledger of my client. E-credit ledger of my client. I immediately filed a writ petition before Honorable Rajasthan High Court. I said they have blocked my e-credit ledger without any reasoning. Either they should give me the reasoning. It is violation of principle of natural justice. Just one liner order is my credit ledger gets blocked. It got vacated in one hearing. It got vacated in one hearing. And department is smart enough, after this order is being passed, they have traced the supplier somehow and taken statement from supplier saying that तुम बोलो कि तुमने सारे bogus invoice raise किए. Supplier मरता ना तो क्या करता, said कि मैंने सिर्फ bogus invoice raise किए हैं. Whether this statement can be used against my buyer recipient who is having whole set of document to evidence. Yes, I know there is Supreme Court judgment, Ecom Gill Coffee Global, which is talking about apart from invoice or bank payment, you should have all supporting document, which I'm having. You can't, say that credit is denied. The first one. So whenever I said statement, question comes cross-examination. If statement of supplier is being used as evidence against me, I should be given an opportunity of cross-examination, not at the time of inquiry or investigation, but at the time of adjudication. I hope आपको मेरी बड़ी बात समझ में आई. Say yes or no in chat box. Have you got it? Say yes or no in a chat box. You got it? Yes, yes, a lot of yes. So I'm very, very much thankful to all of you that you all are writing yes. Thank you very much. Now to come to sum up, next एक और judgment मैं आपको बताता हूँ. एक और judgment and very interesting, and which we must keep to our mind. What is the meaning of principle of natural justice? What are the options available? A lot of things are very, very important. So cause notice ke baad, what are the things available to you when we are discussing the term proceedings? In one of the case in Delhi High Court, which we have filed a writ petition, his registration was alleged to be cancelled on the premise that he has taken registration by means of fraud or willful misstatement or suppression of fact. उसने कहा कि आपने जो रजिस्ट्रेशन लिया है ना, वो बाय मीन्स ऑफ फ्रॉड है, आपका रजिस्ट्रेशन हम कैंसिल कर देंगे. 7 days का टाइम देते हैं, 7 days में रिप्लाई करो, पीएच के लिए आ जाओ, वरना कैंसिल कर देंगे. मैंने रिप्लाई फाइल किया. मैंने कहा सर मेरा 2018 3rd May 2018 से रजिस्ट्रेशन लिया हुआ है, and you are sending me notice on 16th May 2023 और आप कहते हैं मैंने रजिस्ट्रेशन बाय मींस ऑफ फ्रॉड लिया है. मैंने 1 भरा है, 3 भी भरा है, सब कुछ भरा है आपके पास. कम से कम आप मुझे बता तो दीजिए किस ग्राउंड पे आप ये एलिगेशन लगा रहे हैं. जस्ट एक लाइन लिख दिया और काम खत्म. मैंने रिप्लाई फाइल कर दिया, एक पैराग्राफ का. उन लोगों ने क्या किया, डिपार्टमेंट ने क्या किया, विथ नो अपॉर्चुनिटी ऑफ बीइंग हर्ड, they have cancelled my registration with retrospective date 3rd May 2018 से कैंसिल, मेरा रजिस्ट्रेशन कैंसिल कर दिया. Then I file immediately writ petition. अब आप सोचेंगे सर इस ऑर्डर का आप सीधे रिट पिटीशन, आप रिवोकेशन एप्लीकेशन फाइल कर सकते थे, आपके माइंड में आएगा सेक्शन 30 रेड विथ रूल 23 जिसमें 30 डेज का टाइम होता था, बट नाउ इट इज बीइंग एक्सटेंडेड टू 90 + 180 डेज. या मैं अपील फाइल कर सकता था सेक्शन 107 3 + 1 मंथ. सीधे रिट पे क्यों गया? आई एम गिविंग यू सम सिल्वर लाइनिंग. Even though you are having alternate remedy, you can file a writ petition under Article 226 to the Constitution of India. If you can prove that the violation of fundamental right, that the violation of principle of natural justice, excessive jurisdiction, and bias of law is being challenged. And I got relief immediately with one hearing before Honorable Delhi High Court, with fine is being imposed 5,000 rupees on revenue department. कि ये बंदा रिप्लाई भी कर रहा है, आपसे कह भी रहा है कि रीजन बताओ, ना तो आप पीएच देते हो, ना अपॉर्चुनिटी ऑफ बीइंग हर्ड देते हो, वो लिख भी रहा है, फिर भी आप उसका रजिस्ट्रेशन कैंसिल, got vacated. So there are lot many things which we need to understand, and we have to really read in context, holistic view, not in a piecemeal manner. Come to the summon part, the last and concluding part. Summon proceedings is very, very important. I'm asking you, if summon is being issued, can you really leave summon and don't attend? Say yes or no. Is it possible summon आपके नाम से आया और आप जा ही नहीं रहे, 1 बार 2 बार 3 बार, पॉसिबल है? Say yes or no. सर कभी नहीं कीजिएगा, 1 बार रह गया, दूसरी बार. Otherwise they are having power, believe me, they are having power that they can get arrest warrant issued with bail or without bail, even attachment of property, imposition of fine. They are having through those power. So आपको लगे कि नहीं समन पे नहीं जाएंगे, हम बच जाएंगे, arrest warrant can be issued against you, and that too attachment of property and imposition of fine. So you have to be very much careful. But someone without, then अमित कुमार खेमका जी, मैंने पहले बोला था, या तो आप बाद में ज्वाइन किया आपने अमित कुमार खेमका जी. मैंने कहा अगर सीजीएसटी डिपार्टमेंट ने अगर समन दिया है विदाउट दिन, तो उसको क्या माना जाएगा? नल एंड वॉइड. अमित कुमार खेमका जी मैंने कहा था, पार्टिसिपेंट्स मैंने कहा था नहीं कहा था? से यस और नो. अमित कुमार खेमका जी को बताओ, मैंने कहा था या नहीं कहा था? कभी कभार चैट बॉक्स वर्चुअल में यही प्रॉब्लम है. वर्चुअल में क्या ना, किसी को जो समझ में आता है मार, बॉल लगनी चाहिए, बॉल जानी चाहिए, सही है गलत है. फिजिकल सेमिनार में कम से कम चेहरा देख लेते हैं ना, तो हमें मालूम पड़ता है कि हाँ भाई किस महामहिम से हमारी बातचीत हो रही है. बट नेवरदलेस अमित जी बुरा नहीं मानिएगा, बुरा नहीं मानिएगा. ओके चलिए, तो मैंने समन के ऊपर आपको बहुत सारी चीजें एक कैप्सूल के अंदर दे दी. अमित कोई इशू नहीं, मन में नहीं लेने का. अरे ऑर्डर पास कर दिया ना अमित, इमीडिएट. अब तो तू विदाउट जुरिडिक्शन बोल के जा सकता है, एंड रिट पिटीशन, डोंट वरी अबाउट. चलिए, तो मैं अब थोड़े से विंडो ओपन कर देता हूं, सो दैट हम क्वेश्चन आंसर्स भी कर लें, जिससे वी कैन कंक्लूड. लेट मी से इन 1 वर्ड, 2 चीजें आपसे बोलनी है. पहला, term proceedings is not defined in GST law, not defined. It is being used in different contexts and different provision. I concluded, as per me, inquiry, investigation are not proceedings. I concluded that one. But we have to read the context. In that context, we have to define the term. Summon I have discussed at length. कौन इशू करेगा, किसको इशू करेगा, आपको क्या करना है. इवन समन में जिस दिन डेट और टाइम दिया गया है, समनिंग ऑफिसर को वहां रहना पड़ेगा. ड्यूरिंग वर्किंग आवर्स ये जो डॉक्यूमेंट मैंने कहा ना ड्यूरिंग वर्किंग आवर्स, वो आपका स्टेटमेंट, इनका काम है रात के 12 बजे तक बैठा के स्टेटमेंट लेना। आप ना एक काम कीजिए, जब भी जाएं समन पे ना नीचे जरूर टाइम नोट कीजिए, जहां पे एंट्री होती है वहां टाइम नोट कीजिए कि आप कितने बजे इन किए, और जब वापस आए तो वहां पे टाइम नोट कीजिए कि कितने बजे पे आप वापस आए। अगर वो रेगुलरली आपको हेरेस कर रहा है ना, these FAQ, these instruction which is talking about during working hours, हम बोल सकते हैं दे आर क्रिएटिंग harassment। एक बार दो बार we can plea before the court, my lord, look at what they are doing in the name of summon. Look at their attendance suggested. I went at around 11 o'clock in the morning. I was left around 2 o'clock midnight. And this is going on, repeated going on. आप सारे राइट हैं हमारे पास, बट कई बार अगर आप जेन्युइन एंड ऑनेस्ट हैं तो गट्स दिखाना पड़ेगा, और घर में ही कहीं पे प्रॉब्लम है तो आप समझ गए, फिर तो हमें डर लगने लगता है कि कई चीजें हमारे अगेंस्ट में ना हो जाएं। But there are so many things which we can accumulate doing this activity and take it forward. But I tried within 2 hours, 1 hour 40 minutes हो गए हैं। मैंने कोशिश की आपको कुछ अच्छा प्रैक्टिकल वे में विदाउट पावर पॉइंट प्रेजेंटेशन। तो मुझे नहीं मालूम, पहले आप लोग मुझे जरूर चैट बॉक्स में बता दीजिए, विदाउट पावर पॉइंट प्रेजेंटेशन मजा आया या नहीं आया, पहले ये बताइए। विदाउट पीपीटी मजा आया या नहीं आया, क्योंकि पीपीटी मैंने एकदम की नहीं, आपको पीपीटी दिखाई भी नहीं, आपको मजा आया या नहीं आया? अगर मजा आया तो फिर बहुत अच्छा, फिर तो मैं पास हो गया, फिर तो पप्पू पास हो गया, फिर ऐसे बोल सकते हैं। आज नितेश भाई मुझसे बोल रहे थे कि कुछ पीपीटी हो तो पीपीटी दे दीजिएगा। मैंने बोला मैं तो पीपीटी बनाई नहीं है, और मैं तो एक्सटेम्पोर प्रेजेंटेशन दूंगा। बोले नहीं, कुछ पार्टिसिपेंट्स मांग रहे हैं। मैं एक चीज बता रहा हूँ, आज सभी से डिस्कस करना चाहता हूँ ये वाली बात, पीपीटी लेके कुछ नहीं होगा। पोथी पढ़ जग मुआ, पंडित भया ना कोई। आप कितनी भी बुक ले लीजिए, कितनी भी पीपीटी ले लीजिए, जब तक आप उस गहराइयों में खुद नहीं कूदेंगे तब तक आपको समझ में नहीं आएगा। तो सिर्फ पीपीटी लेने से काम हो जाएगा ना, आपको उसके अंदर इन करना पड़ेगा, आपको उसके अंदर जाना पड़ेगा, आपको उसके अंदर स्विम करना पड़ेगा। स्विमिंग करना नहीं आता फिर भी तैरने की कोशिश करना पड़ेगा, तभी हमें वो सारी चीजें समझ में आएंगी। अदरवाइज आप पीपीटी ले लीजिए, स्पीकर्स भी पीपीटी लाके आपको दे देते, लो पीपीटी पकड़ो, अब पीपीटी रख के करो। और मैंने क्या देखा मालूम है, पीपीटी लेने के बाद हमें देखने का टाइम नहीं मिलता। प्लीज टेल मी, कई बार नहीं, मैंने तो फ्रीक्वेंटली देखा, ले तो ली पीपीटी, बस कहीं पे सेव कर लिया फोल्डर बना के, पर देखने का टाइम नहीं मिलता। और बाद में हमको याद भी नहीं आता ये पीपीटी है कहाँ पे, इसकी ये पीपीटी कहाँ पे। आई राइट इन सेइंग सो? आई डोंट नो, अगर मैं गलत हूं तो आप मुझे ना भी कर दीजिएगा, हो सकता है मैं गलत हूं, डेमोक्रेसी है, यस नो आप सब कर सकते हैं। दैट इज व्हाट टू माय माइंड। सो नितेश भाई, हर वक्त पीपीटी नहीं, कई बार बिना पीपीटी के भी मजा आता है। सब चीज पीपीटी से नहीं होता। प्रैक्टिकल का जो मजा है ना, वर्चुअल का मजा नहीं है। इमोजी भेजने से क्या होगा? अब वेबिनार था, वेबिनार में अगर मैं आपको इन्वॉल्व नहीं करूं तो कुछ नहीं होगा। वेबिनार में अगर मैं आपको इन्वॉल्व किया, 1 घंटे 40 मिनट मैंने आपको अपने साथ बैठा के रखने की कोशिश की है कि आप बैठिए, सुनिए, आप आंसर कीजिए, तभी मजा आता है। तो चलिए, थैंक यू वेरी मच to each one of you. Leaving to our chairman of technical session, any question, I'm willing and open.
Thank you, Vimalji. Vimalji, there is one question. Officer has the place without INS1 but issued INS2. Now they are not giving anything in writing, rather asking to give declaration to make the pending tax.
No way. You should not do that. Unless INS01 is being issued, it is not duly authorized, and to that extent you can challenge it.
So it was a wonderful session where we were enlightened regarding summon proceeding. Very important, who can issue the summon and to whom the summon can be issued. And regarding proceedings also, see what are the proceedings, especially in case of advance ruling. I also faced the same issue in one of the case in West Bengal Advance Ruling Authority, and it was decided in favor with the help of that PICO product case. and also that GK trading case. So now I hand over the session to Suman Chaudhary to give a formal vote of thanks. Mr. Bimal Jain.
Thank you, Manish. Thanks all the participants. And whenever it is a matter of GST, that is simple and goes tax, but it can be cannot be more easier when the speaker is Bimal Jain. So with that, we can put our hands together to our speakers. Whenever I have heard him for so many years, I think for the 5 or 6 years, I have heard him in different forums, in different webinars. Anytime I'm with him, we can have encourage of our knowledge. We can have something, some bite for the coming in our opportunity in the profession. With this, sir, we are very indebted to you for giving the time for the views exchange, and also I'm thankful for the convener of the views exchange, Nitesh Morji, for giving me this opportunity with Manish and Manu. Thank you all. Thank you all the participants without whom this webinar cannot be successful. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Hoping to meeting you next time, meeting in any other form.
Sure. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Participant, with this, we are closing this session. Tomorrow also we have this second session on this GST litigation series, sharp from 4 p.m. Thank you, everyone.